A week after Washington authorized a maintenance package for Pakistan's F-16 force, the US ambassador to Islamabad visited Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and referred to it as Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Taking the social media site, Donald Blom shared some photos of his visit and referred to the occupied territory as AJK, short for Azad Jammu and Kashmir. During his visit to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, he paid a visit to the Dak Bungalow in Muzaffarabad, a building that Muhammad Ali Jinnah had visited in 1944, and has been turned into a memorial for him. Despite knowing that it is situated in Indian territory occupied by Pakistan, the US envoy said that the structure symbolizes Pakistan's cultural and historical richness. The US ambassador might have forgot the fact that Pakistan is historically and culturally been associated with India, and the country has no original history and no original religion or culture. Their mere existence is illegitimate. Their creation is only to serve the rich countries by producing good quality of terrorist. And the only history and fact is that they are only millions of individuals who were converted to Islam during Muslim invasion of India. They are just the result of the genocide committed against Hindus in India by Arab, Turkish, Mughal, and Afghan invading troops over a period of 800 years, which the world has forgotten. So the structure symbolizes Indian native Kashmiri people and their cultural and historical richness, and not Pakistani. In 2018, a top Republican legislator suggested that the nation be recognized as a state sponsor of terrorism, and that its non-NATO ally status be revoked. Even the Trump administration cancelled most of Pakistan's money, explicitly criticizing them for their support for terrorism. However, the Biden administration has restored friendship for so-called counter-terrorism efforts. The Biden administration is returning to its decades-long practice of playing ball with both nuclear-armed enemies. It is now back to balancing between India and Pakistan. And one explanation may be that India abstains from voting on a UN Security Council resolution, sponsored by the US, criticizing Russia's illegitimate takeover of Ukrainian territory. The latest abstention might be a disappointment, coming just days after PM Modi was praised by Washington for telling Vladimir Putin about this not being an era of war. But this was not the first time India did not back US. India chose a path of proactive neutrality on Ukraine, which means India would not be comfortable taking any one of the sides in the conflict, either to stand completely with Russia or the US. But India always stated that countries need to respect international law and the UN Charter. It also wants to ensure that the sovereignty of countries, with respect to territorial integrity, is ensured. India's position has also been evident in its rescue operations, where India was able to bring home about 22,500 Indians and 147 other nationals in middle of the war in Ukraine. Such operations in a dangerous war zone demonstrate India's close and intensive diplomatic engagement with both Moscow and Kiev. India has also been actively engaged in humanitarian relief efforts in afflicted regions. Neutrality has always been a part of Indian foreign policy. In the Ukraine conflict, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that any dispute can be addressed via negotiation and peace, and he has also told Vladimir Putin that this is not an era of violence. However, the Biden administration has showed that this is an era of war, as we have seen 2 battle zones in 2 years, one in Afghanistan in 2021 and one in Russia-Ukraine in 2022, and the following year could be a China-Taiwan war, or possibly a war between India and Pakistan, and Biden will undoubtedly support Pakistan. Because Pakistan does not need advanced American weaponry or, at the very least, frigates, to combat terrorism. And in such a circumstance, India cannot afford to create another opponent who is genuinely on India's side during its difficult times. At a time when India is on its path to become the global leader, the Biden administration, which seems to be irritated by this development, has begun employing its old tactic with its so-called old buddy, Pakistan, to build a barrier for India.